Hi UFC fans around the world, this is the MMA Care Bear. And today I want to talk to you about the Chris Weidman and Anderson Silva number 2 fight, which will be on December 28th on UFC 168. Now this card is this is going to be a really sick card with Ronda Rousey and Misha Tate, which will face off on the Tough 18 finale, which was a really good show that they had. We'll also have Josh Barnett versus Travis Brown, which is Travis Brown. That guy just scares the fuck out of me. He goes in there and he's a fucking scary dude. After what he did to Gonzaga, that fight with the elbows, he fucked him up with the elbows. That was a crazy fight. And then he also showed heart with Overeem. When I saw that fight, I was sure that he was gonna get knocked out, and Overeem is a better fighter than him, but he just showed heart and he came back and he won, and that was really amazing. That guy Travis Brown, he's going places. He is going places. We also have on that card, we have Chris Lieben and Uriah Hall and Uriah Hall. Now I don't get that guy. I don't get that guy. I don't understand what he's doing. I have no idea what that guy is doing. He showed us that amazing flying back kick in Tough, and then his fight where he was all the time shaking hands and shit like that. I don't know where he thinks he is, but I think he's a really good fighter. So I want to see what's going to go down, and Chris Lieben is a scary dude. We also have Jim Miller on that card, who was a big tank. That guy is a strong individual. But I want to talk about Silva and Chris Weidman. Now that fight that we saw where Anderson Silva was clowning around the whole fight until he got knocked out, which is his style. He fights like that all the time. That's his style. That's what he does. And it looked as though it was too easy for him. He stepped in there and he was just checking Weidman out and to see to see if the guy's for real. And after all that's been said before the fight, and Joe Rogan was saying that this guy has the potential of beating Anderson Silva, and we all believed it. This time for real, I believed that he had a chance. But when I saw him step in the octagon, and I saw Anderson Silva just clowning around with him, and he was just too fast for Chris. He was just too fast. And that's what he always does, even at 38. He's 38 years old, and he's still fucking around with everyone. That's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. That guy is a fucking amazing spider. He is a fucking amazing. I'm a bear. He's a spider, and he's the best spider that I've seen. This is a crazy spider. And what I think is gonna go down on the second fight is that this time, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I think that if we see him clowning around in the weigh-ins like he did before French kissing Weidman, then that would be a good sign. That would be a good sign, because that's going to mean that Anderson Silva is going to come into the octagon as Anderson Silva, the normal Anderson Silva, the one that we know is clowning around and beating the shit out of everyone. And that's the kind of Silva that I think can beat Chris really easily. That's the kind of Anderson Silva that we all want to see. So I hope he does come around, with a mask or French kissing or whatever the fuck he does. And he does that shit really well. So I hope he steps into the octagon the same way, keeps clowning around and frustrating Chris like he does to everyone else. Just feeling him out at the beginning and then clowning around, moving to the side and showing them that he is the best of all times. He is the pound for pound best fighter on the planet. You know, I also think that Fedor Emelianenko is also the best pound for pound fighter, but that's a different era. Even though they were at the same era, you know, he's 38 years old, so they're pretty much playing in the same it's the same competition for the best fighter on the planet. But Fedor is one thing, and the Spider is another, and I love both of them. They're just fucking amazing. So I think my prediction is that after that fight, Anderson can just retire. You know, it's gonna be a big loss, and it's gonna be difficult. But I think if he doesn't want, you know, he has that 10 fight deal, but I don't think he's gonna do 10. I don't think he's got 10 more fights in him because, you know, he doesn't like all the other bullshit around, you know, all the press conferences and all that shit. He's not in for that kind of shit. He's not in for that kind of shit, and for fights, you gotta promote the fights. So if you can't promote the fights, you can't be in the business. We like seeing all that shit. So I think this is his last fight. I think he's gonna win it, and he's gonna leave the octagon as the best fighter to ever live. That's what I think's gonna happen. So thank you for watching, and I hope leave a comment if you got anything to say, and I'll talk about it on my next video blog. And this is me saying ciao from the MMA Care Bear.